Welcome to another episode of At Your Disclosure. This is your host, Alex Ruben Tovar, bringing you the scoops and the last days here at the Palmer residence, also known as Casa de Alex. And life is one big fairy tale if you think about it. And my wife, being known for the fairy tale brownies as the brownie queen, has me the face of G4 Secure Solutions, an organization that compromises of different levels of the government, whether it's DOJ or DOD. You definitely want to be in good standing of being that. That's a hard company to get in, to be honest with you. But due to the merger, they were only able to keep certain strategic accounts. So based on reputation, because of who I am and friends and family members, as well as neighbors being involved, just imagine them constantly targeting you for the public figure that you are to the point of trying to pass judgment, which is pathetic. But that's just how it is comes to the realization. We really should have just stayed in Las Vegas. But just imagine this. Okay, you shake a cleaner's hand. I shook Jose's hand at Humana Glendale 91st. And this was after my leave of absence from the banks in 2015 where, I couldn't handle it. I'm not going to lie to you. I had asked for the day off and realizing that the bank got hot, Thomas Pekin Hated Road. I had mentioned to Chap Delado, current bank supervisor, that hey, something, this bank gets targeted. It's a hot bank based on location and all that. Also because of the people that I know that I had considered faithful when in reality they have their own accounts based on what others would tell them, and it's pathetic. It's almost like, hey man, don't you want to see your friend or brother succeed? That's what I want to expect from all of my encounters with people that are close to me, but some people think differently. But I'll tell you something. It's funny over at Tom Speaking Hit Road, you get a lot of subtle differences. Seeing some Hispanic lady just pick a leaf off of a tree to seeing her skip, it almost makes you wonder if this is the same person. To freaking realizing that the neighbors are involved in several bank robberies and the way how people can commit crime and get away with it's real to this day. Those are tendencies. Those are the people that you gotta stay away from because of the fact that they're gonna take advantage of you. So that's what you call a user. So just imagine this. That was nothing. I simply shook his hand and I introduced myself. Hi, I'm Alex. And he quickly looks at his phone, and after that, just things started happening. So that's why I had explained to you guys about my just laying low for a while. It's man, there was some riots going on where they were going door to door to see who was legit here in this country to having Dave Patnate show up. And I should have just gone outside and reasoned with him and know that hey, you weren't there. It was just a simple handshake. What do you got on me? First of all, do you have a warrant? Because for as much as I know, you were loss prevention to Walmart to being a major and area supervisor for G4 Secure Solution in the Phoenix area to freaking taking credit for what I've done because most of the upper management, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of officers that take uh, what I've done for granted. They make it seem like it was them. Oh man, there's that dog again. Probably heard me and decided to be annoying or training your dog to bark. But yeah, taking credit for my credit for what I've done. That's why I've created this show with the intention of putting dangerous, wanted criminals because I feel that society needs to change and it starts with one. And someone could tell off the back that, hey, this guy, he's well rounded, he's real popular, he minds his own and does what he can to better the situation of others. Where if you didn't get what you were expecting, then hey, find it within yourself to look in the mirror and say, hey, I did this on purpose, just see what he knows, so what he doesn't. And it's pathetic. You get rumors, oh, he's autistic or oh, he's schizophrenic. Nothing like that. But just imagine someone in your house and you talking to your mother and they're extorted. They're told do this, do that, all to see if he was, if he's with the CIA or FBI to see what he knows. But it's hard because of the fact that you know if your own family sides with others or just You gotta defend yourself. I'm gonna tell you something. There's laws in this country. You have the right to bear arms. You have the right to defend yourself. You know, I let him drop one of my friends named Sonny, and when school started, we were hanging out playing basketball, and there was nothing against one another. He continued being my friend, and we would play basketball. So that's why I don't understand why, as an adult, it progressed to something bad when I did that to Greg, Kyle, and it was just out of reaction because you have to defend yourself and your territory. So freaking, it's beyond me, But it's almost like, was it that bad by comparison? Because I guarantee you, others have done way worse. You gotta take responsibility for your actions. You put your hands on me. There's gotta be a reaction towards it to it. But you think of the reason why Aaron decided to turn on me. It's because of an accumulation of what he hears, and it's almost like, who are you, man? Who is the next person? Especially here in my house with that attitude. I told my brother, hey man, Aaron has a bad attitude. He'll come here and accuse me of things he hasn't witnessed. You're crooked as fuck. And it's almost like a marriage. That's between us, between my wife and I, where I would find someone that I barely know to realizing he was at one of my friend's weddings, Valerie and Joaquin Enrique's weddings, to realizing people believe what they haven't seen, and it's pathetic in a negative way just because they see this person. Hey, this guy's going far in life. And just imagine, when we relocated back here to Arizona, I think I was like 27 in 2012. And you could just imagine, even before that, freaking the type of person I was. Hardworking, and others not being able to work that hard would decide, no, you can't have that, you can't do that. Well, I thought you had it made. Hard work pays off when I tell you this. So another chapter in my life, I like to include you all to see the errors of your ways where in the first place shouldn't have been there because of the fact that if it happened to you, and people are shady, they'll poison your kids, they'll instruct others to mistreat your own, and you wonder, where are we going with this? What has this gained us? Everything you do in life, it's it's almost like, did that grant you, did that get you anything out of it? You might get like a freaking slice of pizza, and that's it. You cost this person's career, life, and the CIA will disown you, the FBI will disown you for misconduct, bad conduct. Just put it this way: I go into work, and I can't log in to the system, so I know off the back the meaning of this. And if you don't want problems, just leave. But at the same time, too, it's a competition. Well, we heard that uh, Special Agent Alexis Tolwar is going to be a director. I work alongside Keith Tolhurst, primarily under Steve Moore and Joe Navarro. And I'll tell you something about these three men. Joe Navarro is competitive. He'll figure out ways where he can do it a lot better than you can by examining what he feels is reality. Now, just like I was telling you about finding any person on this planet through even a time frame, because you got to understand this, a picture does depict 1,000 words. That person is that person in another time frame, where in the nexus of time it's there for all eternity. That was you that did that, and that's never going to change. That's what I had to explain to Aaron. So you going against me is because of someone wanting to take credit for what you've done. My name is Alexis Ruben Tolvar Licea. Mispronounced by Lucian Licea. Whether it's in English or in Spanish, you're going to pronounce it the way you want to pronounce it. So freaking thinking that, oh, I could do that, I could make it seem that I did that. I rescued that little girl. I encountered the high jump bandit. I freaking deterred the most bank robbers. And it's not who you are, it's who you know. Just think about it. Newly built school, Cincinnati Back Education Academy. And I started my career in law enforcement at the age of 14, even if it's just volunteering. That's just the way I am, the way I was raised. I had a good upbringing myself too. And now realizing that people turn, people change. And you think of sacrificing a million in order to save a billion. So I feel that my mother would notice this is a good place to be. Have all my kids here. Maybe it's in her nature, in her DNA. Her motherly instincts told her, Alex is easygoing, his wife's easygoing. Both Jazz and I are Virgos. Those are probably the most positive, outgoing, presentable people in existence. Presentable. I mean, for the most part, I could be wearing a freaking moo to a freaking just a leaf underneath my crotch package, and you'll still find me suitable for whatever you want to do. Virgos do not like toxins, do not like. Put it this way, the way I would describe Virgo is almost perfect. So Eric Sanchez, for instance, he was a Virgo. He was born, I think we share a birthday together or on the same month, but I can remember because on my birthday I had sent them a happy birthday with the picture of a guy in a Speedo, overweight guy in a Speedo, with him posing with a bunch of different weapon accessories and just real and toy guns, to freaking. You could be wearing whatever and still be the person that you are. Like I said, the the clothes don't make the man, but then again, and just like Mario G. Dominguez had told you once before, told us all over at the BPO meeting, is because of how you look. You're athletic, you're highly intelligent, walks like a duck, talks like a duck, 99.9% of the time is a duck. So, what else do I got to prove to you? If you see me at all these banks, that's my specialty. That is my expertise is bank protection. I am a bank protection officer, custom protection officer, working for Homeland as well as Central Intelligence Agency, uh, Federal Bureau of Investigation. It's all one, just different levels of the government where we have to study and see where everything's going to fit into place, because unfortunately there's so much going on that on assignment you're just stuck with this going to have a repercussion, and back to in order to save billions. One felt that, well, I could raise my grandkids here, they can appreciate me, because in reality, if it wasn't for her, they wouldn't be here. So I feel used, and at times I am miserable, and she doesn't care. What she once told me, and I told that John Cadillac Motto do, and I'll tell you something, I respect John Motto. A lot of times I'll say things and know that in my heart, if he were to decide to just close his doors on me, I'll probably be a sadder person, because this is also a motivated person that, just like me, I can relate. And going back to playing football with him at North High School, man, I seen this guy spear a Dublin. And nothing against anyone. Like I said, it's just your affiliations. You hang out with people that appreciate for who you are. Oh, wow, my mother we sell tamales too. Oh, well, I watch this too. Oh, well, in hopes the laws will change. And people are people, man. They're full of love, and you'd be surprised who you admire and respect for their commitment. We're all people here, and hopefully as a society we could change all that. But seeing him work for Chase and me for Bank of America, well, at the same time, I started with Chase. I used to work at Bank One Ballpark, Chase Field, and being dismissed for what the bosses perceived has just left me working behind the scenes. That's all I can tell you. You know, there's a lot of terrorist attacks that are happening in this country where you have to pay attention to major events where you could see yourself doing what needs to be done. And just like my brother leaving Desert Eyes because of me, it's one thing I regret. You know, I know I'm running out of gas, and I'm being quite honest with you. After after Desert Eyes, I still worked for Chase Fields, J.P. Morgan, but at the same time too, you know, I was advised not to have contact with the Jones, or else it would compromise the mission. There's a lot of terrorist acts that one has to countermeasure, and one doing so decides that, okay, well, from a distance, you always have my respect, and into the future realizing that just like that kind of like model dude, you know, I hope we. One thing that surprised me, and I respect my bosses. We had gone to PIR Phoenix International Raceway where NASCAR NASCAR was being held. So taking my brother George, we had Todd and Darby drive us over there, and you know, Darby's a businessman. You know, he's a business owner, and telling the staff member there, you know, I can't let my people in. That's what it's all about. And he's told me before, hey, you know something, Alex? Uh, I like I like hiring Mexicans because they're hardworking. Their work ethic is impeccable. No one is perfect on this in this earth, and there's temptation. But recognizing the pattern, you either know or you don't know. But just because someone told you doesn't make it valid. Think of the person's fidelity in the first place, where he is no different. Me, I'll trade once in a while. For the most part, I have money. You know, I was a manager. I was upper management, being a manager, supervisor, manager, porter. You know, all three that led to managerial positions with getting their supply as well as opening and closing to going in there before the actual event to maintain the stands. You know, and Darby once told me, hey, if it wasn't for you, we would be running around. But I know I'm jumping and appreciative of everything I had, but at the same time, too, you have to be careful because put yourself in your shoes, in their shoes, you know. Just like my own family, you know. That's all. And I told Marlon once, I'm maturing. I'm learning that we're not in the eighth grade anymore. You know, it's time to change, and never wanting to be this way in the first place. Just deciding that it'd be a good idea to merge because I know his daughters, and she has also taken an interest in filming, uh, being in a place of directing, producing, and seeing potential within Sean Woods, The Dark Cloud, as well as Polaris. No stone unturned, and she's a lot similar to myself. She's a lot similar to me. We're both, what is that word? Godly, and I don't know if it's due to the fact of the month I was born or just who I am, but I couldn't potentially do what others done to me for the simple fact that I don't have time for that. And just like I said earlier, if I wanted to, I could easily do this, do that, knowing exactly who did all this. And people instigate. You know, I have uncles, relatives, go fuck them up, go do this. I go to the front house, go to the front of the house. They don't step up, but they'll freaking make my family members do things for them. It's pathetic. So that's just how it's going to be everywhere. So with that being said, I think it's time for just part our ways. And I spoke with mother and I told her, hey, you know, that's pretty dumb of you guys causing injuring me on the low. where I can't help you be effective as I once were. Now realize the person I once was in 2001 and up. So you know for a fact this guy is hardworking, intelligent, ethical, and yet we freaking decide to do this based on what we hear. It's pathetic. And you know, there's a lot of people in this life that I look up to and I admire, respect. So the people I mentioned, you know, my respects, and know that hard work pays off. You know, coming back to Arizona, Phoenix has been difficult. Some people feel that this person is responsible for this or that, and it's a give and take. It's almost like what you know or what you don't know. Because I can guarantee you this: the good we've done by comparison outweighs the bad, and there's nothing to it. My brother and I worked at the time, you know, just having several businesses. Even at a young age, I had my own landscaping company, general merchandising, and working for Phoenix PD. Uh, you know, you definitely get a bad image because of the fact that others are out to make you look bad. And being at a public standing, you have to be perfect. No one is perfect on this planet. I once told myself, well, prove that to me. If you feel I stole from you, how much did I steal from you? Everything can be corrected, but you have to prove that to me because believing what someone says, and you think just by, well, first of all, if I'm in charge of supply, if I'm in charge of setting up and closing the stands, if I'm in charge of the overall operations of the company, Darby has trusted me. And I'm going to tell you something. I went to Tempe Beach Park to work for one of Marlon's events. You know, there were some black male adults. Every 20. So I was working with Joey Guzman, and he would take every 20 from the cash register. They were just taking them for granted. And Darby told me once straight up off the back, I would hire my own people, but it's a scam. So it's unfortunate because for the most part, most African Americans are natural born. You know, they're citizens. Why not just work? There's hustlers out there, and not everyone's bad. I know people that hold two, three jobs, and you know, standing post at a bank in Las Vegas, I believe it's on Ramrod, by a shopping center. I'm trying to remember the major crossroads when I was taking the city bus to bank locations. So you could just imagine the danger, but at the same time too, the peace you are providing to others, knowing, hey, that's a service member to an undercover, for the simple fact that he is doing his due diligence, and that's being a good citizen. So laying low for the simple fact that you make enemies in the service, and you don't want to have your whole family slaughtered for the simple fact that someone went into the service on hot pursuit, but at the same time too went in there to enact revenge on someone that killed his dog. We're no different than an animal. We're part of the Ammonia kingdom, and that cat or dog has every right, as you do, to be here on this planet, happy and taken care for. And even with us, they'll survive. Dogs will team up and survive once another. There's also an alpha, and same thing like cats. You know, they'll go from domesticated to feral. So it's in your nature to survive. And one of the reasons my mom decided to move in with us was because she knows that Jess and I are responsible. In Las Vegas, I was the only one working after my wife was dismissed from Title Max due to upper management. There was new management, and they want to earn their keep. But at the same time, too, look how every reaction has a reaction. So I get dropped off by Tim Wells to a electric daisy parade in Las Vegas. I'm trying to remember exactly where. So there's an annual event where all this how can I call it? These ravers, these party people go out there and freaking have a good time. There's a lot of things going on. You know, there's a lot of distribution. There's a lot of violence. There's a lot of parading, but at the same time too, you know, Tim Wells and I, both in the service, both Tim Wells had dropped me off and tell me of his experience in the army. He was stationed in Alaska, and you know, I tell people that he used to play the trombone when in reality he would play the clarinet. So he was a band major, and him reaching out to me for saying the wrong things has literally have been playing the trombone while playing to the tone of fucking your ass up, fucking your ass up, fucking your ass up. But yeah, even in that garage I was telling you earlier, that's where I got it from. Because both my friend at the time, Aaron, and I, man, a lot of things were going on, a lot to blame, put him in his place. I don't understand why you would listen to anyone. It's almost like, imagine me in your house teaching you a lesson when I shouldn't be there in the first place. Even if I perceived you to have a slight autism, but it's pathetic. It's almost like, why would I be in the position I am if I had any of that? You know, that could be anyone, but never being diagnosed with anything. I've been evaluated, taken several psych tests, nothing. So where's the problem? Just because of what you hear? This really is a sheeple society where we need strong leaders. And I'm trying to remember that metaphor for the longest road, where it's one person is going through all this trials and tribulations to get to where he needs to be, as opposed to this big old highway where it's leading to a dead end. And it's pathetic, but you know, in this life you're either lead or follow. So hopefully you lead into something better as opposed to what the next person says, because it's unfortunate. But let me elaborate some more on some of the encounters that happened here in this house, and I'll probably go into another segment. So just imagine this: just people in your house, and this is day to day. Where I'm just like, why would you need to be in here? So mom's freaking basically being tortured in there. She's brushing her teeth, and I'm trying to open the door. Está en paz. And I'm trying to figure out what's happening in there, and it turns out to be that it's some of the back neighbors, you know, taking advantage of your family members. I'm like, why would you brush your teeth again? You know, and it's like, what the fuck? You got to defend yourself. You know, you can't be taken for granted. Same thing, too, at the casino. And like I was telling you, just going door to door to freaking not being able to take it anymore. You see this door right here? I had to bust it open because of the fact that someone's being taken advantage. You know, and it's a tough life. It's not what I planned it out to be, but it's the life I live every day. And being with the people that I live with, it's pathetic. It's seeing the most potentially gifted person on the planet, and you're gonna treat them this way. But it is what it is. Like I said, this is Lex Ruben Tolmore at your disclosure.